All right, guys, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things that you'll see when you log into Cricut Design Space. And this is more so for the new users to Cricut Design Space and your cutting machines. So I'm logged into Cricut Design Space and I have a blank canvas. You can tell it's blank because there's no images or there's no fonts actually on my screen. Okay, so it's blank. If you can't work well with just a blank canvas like that and you need the lines to help you with your placement, you have a 0 here on the left hand side of your screen, and then you have a little blank box, and then you have another 0 right next to it. So it's actually 2 zeros, and then it has a little blank box in the middle. If you click that blank box one time, it'll give you the grid. Okay, and then the grid will help you with lining up your font and your images. This is the maximized grid. If you don't need that many boxes in your grid, you can click that space one more time and it will I actually hit undo. But if you hit that box again, then it will actually give you another grid with wider boxes, just in case you don't need the really small boxes. And then if you select it one more time, it'll actually take away the grid altogether. So that's one of the ways that you can actually either use the grid or you don't have to use the grid. Okay, so I'm going to place the grid back on my screen. Now on the left hand side, you have new. So if I was creating a brand new project and I didn't want to use what I have on my canvas anymore, I could just hit new here on the left hand side, and it's gonna just check for verification that I do want to get rid of what's here. And then I can say, well, I want to save this project first, or just replace it, or cancel. I hit it by accident, so I'm going to select cancel. Up under new, you have your templates. So your templates are used to help you with placement as well. So if I click templates, and let's say I'm working on a t-shirt, and I'm just going to type in t-shirt here in the search field here on the right and click the magnifying glass. And when I do that, it gives me different t-shirts that I can actually use based on the type of t-shirt I'm working with. So let's say I have the classic round neck t-shirt. I'm just going to select that, and it's going to put that template on my screen. Okay, so it tells you that these templates are just to help you with your mock-up. They're not going to become a part of your project. So you have the front of the t-shirt and the back of the t-shirt. Okay, so what you can do is right up above the grid here, it's going to tell you what type of t-shirt, what size t-shirt, and the color of the t-shirt. And those things work well when you're trying to help with placement on your t-shirt, because you can click that little drop down arrow, and you're going to have an option between men, women, kids, toddler, baby. So let's say we're working on a women's t-shirt. We'll select that, and then we can check the sizing. Is it an extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, extra large? We'll just go with large. And now we want to check the coloring. So you select coloring, and we're going to say it's a black t-shirt. Okay. And so now you have the type of t-shirt, the size of t-shirt, and the color of the t-shirt to help you. Now, if for whatever reason, let's say you say, well, the grid is kind of confusing me now, you can still get rid of the grid. Okay, so you still have the ability to erase the grid or to bring the grid back based on your preferences. Okay, all right, so now if I bring that grid back and I decide I want to put, let's say, mother, just something simple. I gotta learn how to spell. All right, so now I have the font here with the word mother on it. So I'm going to drag this up, and then now you have this little text box, and I'm going to go up here and change the color of the text just so that you can see it better. So here we have mother. On the left hand side of the box, this X is to delete it. So if you no longer want that, you would just click this. It would get rid of the box altogether. If you wanted to change the sizing, there's two ways you can do it. You can either leave your proportions locked so that when you use this up and down arrow here on the right hand side, it's going to keep your proportions appropriate based on width and height. Okay. You also have the ability, let's say I want mother to be a little bit longer than what's on the screen. I could click this lock here on the left hand side one time, and now my little arrow that was up and down gives me 4 different ways I can drag this text box to change the sizing of the word mother. So now I can drag it down to increase the length of mother, or I could drag it over to the right. But when you do this, it's going to not always give you the exact width and height proportions when you unlock the lock. So that's why you see a lot of people will leave it locked. Now in Cricut Design Space, you're going to realize that there's more than one way to do a particular task. So I can lock here, or right up under Untitled, you actually have your width and your height, and there's your lock as well. So you can also lock or unlock your proportions from there. And if you look down here on the bottom left, as I click this lock, notice it unlocked. When I click it again, it locks it back. So it's the same functionality, it's just in different places. It just depends on what you're more comfortable with. Okay, and you're going to find in Cricut Design Space there's more than one way to actually do something. So this is one way that you can use templates, and this will help you with placement. But again, when you get ready to make this t-shirt, this template will go away and all you'll have is just mother on the screen. So if I were to click make it here in the bottom top right hand corner, notice there's no t-shirt. It just has the word mother on the screen. Okay, and we'll talk about sizing. So I'm just going to cancel that. And then right up under your templates, you have projects. These are going to be projects that Cricut has already designed out in Cricut Design Space. And you can go through these and decide, oh, I want to make this just chill pillow. When you click on it, it's going to give you the description, the finished size, and the materials and everything else that you need to make this project. You can even customize it, or you can make it as is. So that's your projects. And I'm going to now click on images. And images, it shows you that there's over 100,000 Cricut images in Cricut Design Space. So if I were to click on butterfly in the search field, just type in butterfly and click on the magnifying glass, then I have all these different butterflies that I could actually utilize. So I can kind of scroll down and determine which one of these butterflies do I want to work with. Oh, I like this one. So I'll click that and hit insert images, and there's the butterfly. So that's how you utilize the insert images, and then I can drag it up and down and leave the proportions as they are. I can also go and change the coloring if I want to make it to match the mother that's already on my screen. Okay. All right, so that's your images. I have already shown you the text, and then you have shapes. So if for whatever reasons, let's say I take this square and I put this square on my screen, you have the ability to also change the coloring. So I'm going to go with the yellow square. Now let's just say I want to make this an underline. So I can actually make that square much thinner just by using the lock functionality and unlock functionality. And let's go back here and make it a little bit. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the height to 0.05. Let's see what that looks like. Oh no. Let's go back over. And So let's just say we wanted to put a line right up under mother. Then that's one of the ways that you could actually get that. Okay. And then last but not least, you have the upload. So anytime you want to actually upload an image that you've already brought into Cricut Design Space, you could go here, or you could select upload image, browse, and then go look for the actual image wherever you have it stored on your computer. So I like to put a lot of my images in one particular folder. And so sometimes I'll put them up under drawing, sometimes designed by Maria. So I have all of my fonts out, not fonts, but my images out here based on what I'm actually working on. So you'll see a lot of different images out here. So if I wanted to bring one of these images into Cricut Design Space, I would just click on the image, select open. It's going to bring the image in, and then you can look at these to determine, is your image simple, is it moderately complex or complex, and you can tell based on the verbiage here. So I'm just going to select simple and then continue and continue. And then I'm just going to click on save, and it brings that image right into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to select it, and then on the right here I'm going to select insert image, and now I have the image brought into my Cricut Design Space. Okay, so I just wanted to take a moment to actually talk to you about some of the functionality within Cricut Design Space, and I wanted to start out with the left-hand side of your screen, and then I will continue to add on to that as we go along. The only other thing that I will tell you is that you do have this menu functionality, and when you click it, you have these drop down. We'll go through this in one session by itself and talk through what all these things are. All right, guys. Again, I will be posting videos daily on things that you can do in Cricut Design Space, and to help you to understand how to utilize Cricut Design Space, so that we can all learn together. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out and let me know. I'll be more than glad to assist you, as others in the group will help you as well. All right, guys. Thank you guys for being a part of Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. And I will be uploading this video to YouTube, where I do have a lot of my tutorials on Cricut Design Space and crafting different projects. So you can also find things out there in addition to the group. All right, well, you know my motto is each one reach one, so that each one can teach one. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.